Edge of Indy is always about and focused on what's happening in Indianapolis as it applies to entrepreneurs, innovators, movers, and shakers here in Indy. And we also feature people and organizations that are out there helping make Indianapolis a great place to live and work, and on top of that, visit. So we talk about this always. Choose local and choose local often. That's what Edge of Indy is all about. So welcome back to the show. If you haven't heard the show or caught the show, you got to check it out at edgeofindy.com. It's a fantastic show that we love. Well, that's a bit gratuitous, isn't it? I think it's fantastic, but I hope you do too. Check out all the shows. We focus on a lot of great causes and organizations this year, and we're certainly bringing exposure to some great causes and organizations today. I would like to introduce to you a couple people in the studio. We've got Caleb Handsome Dan, our SEO technician over at Site Strategics.
As usual, I'm here for the beer.
Exactly. It's like ringing a bell. Every time there's a beer on stage, for some odd reason, you magically appear.
These are facts.
Pavlovian response.
Indeed.
Absolutely start salivating. And on top of that, as he learns more about it earlier on, right, he gets all the stars aligned so he can be right here. Love that pun?
Nicely done.
Thank you very much. Well, we want to introduce you to our guest, one of our favorite Indy establishments, Sun King Brewery. And this is Dave Colt, head brewer and co-founder. How are you doing today?
Fine as frog hair. How about yourself?
And a repeat guest.
And a repeat guest.
It's been a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Last time there was all kinds of technical difficulties. Couldn't get the Facebook Live feed going.
Bring that up right now, why don't you?
No, because it's going smoothly, smooth and flawlessly.
Well, it was up until that moment.
Train wreck, sorry. Hey, let's have a beer, huh?
All right, okay, we got to crack it open. There we are, everybody. 1, 2, 3, there we go. See? You just never know when this is going to happen to you in your career. So, Cheers. So, hey, Dave, thanks so much for coming back on this show, and we are huge fans of Sun King. Sun King's doing it right when it comes down to connecting with charitable organizations and just be able to connect with community. You do so much in the space of Indianapolis. It's laudable to say the least, but it is an inspiration to a heck of a lot of companies. So kudos to you and Sun King and Clay for just killing it in the charitable and the give back concepts. We're all excited about what's coming up this Saturday. That's CANvitational. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening or what's being planned this year?
Well, in case you don't know, CANvitational is a craft canning beer festival by invitation only. We try to target breweries that aren't necessarily in our market to, bring them actually into the city. It's a secret covert operation to introduce them to Indianapolis. And then they leave and they go, damn, that was fun. I didn't expect that, And so throw a party with our friends, also raise a little bit of money for some local charities, this year benefiting Gleaners, Second Helpings, not to name a few, Art with a Heart, Joy's House, Little Red Door, Indy City Market, Outreach, Inc. So 100% of the proceeds, once we pay the bills of renting tents and all that kind of good stuff, we have sponsorships that cover most of that. Then the rest of the money gets divided among the groups that are helping to volunteer.
That is fantastic. Now, how often, this is an annual experience, how long have you actually been doing the CANvitational?
This is our 5th annual. Thanks for asking. So, it's on Georgia Street, the west end by the convention center, and spills into Pan Am Plaza. We're going to have 60 breweries this year, which is every year we kind of get a little bit more. We have 12 new ones in the mix. Crooked Stave, Brick House, lots of good stuff. Yeah.
60 breweries.
Yeah.
How about that, Caleb? Handsome Dan.
It's fantastic because, not only do they bring in a lot of local breweries that can, or, even regional, but, they'll bring in, like Dave was saying, breweries that don't distribute here. Like, we get, they get on, like DC Brow and Surly and some
Boston
great
Beer Works.
Yeah, some really great breweries from around the nation that, we don't get to try here that often in Indy, and it's a fantastic festival.
So how do you pick up the brewery each year with whom you're going to do the Canlaboration.
The CANlaboration, yeah.
Yes.
Tell me what this Canlaboration is.
And tell us a little bit about this year's.
I will tell you
beer.
about this year's CANlaboration. Thank you for asking. Nice segue into it. So the CANlaboration, it kind of depends. We've actually had a almost 3-year conversation with Revolution Brewing about doing something together. And, through different growth and, things that are going on, we just never really found a date. And finally we said, damn it. All right, let's pick something. We're going to do it. How about joining us for our CANlaboration? Because they've been down all 5 years for the CANvitational. And we're like, let's party together real hard. And they said, yeah, let's do it. So, the conversation then led to, well, what style of beer would you do? All of that kind of good stuff. Being mindful that typically it's a little warmer than it is currently this time of year. So we decided, to do a session IPA. So all of the wonderful goodness of an IPA, but condensed down into 4.7% alcohol. So
Tell me more.
I know.
You can drink a whole mess of those.
You could, and get a responsible Uber or Lyft home.
Absolutely.
Always.
Or a friend, either way. So we thought about crispness, of the beer. We actually use a little bit of agave in here to kind of thin out the body and really, just push the hops to the foreground. So this year it happens to be Mosaic and Citra, 2 American hops. Mosaic is a little funky, a little fruity, some wonderful little hint of blueberry, actually, if you kind of take a sip and ponder on that, sort of like blueberry skin. It's got that earthy, funky kind of thing going on. And then the Citra has all of this bright, light citrus character, which sort of raises the whole thing up.
All the wonders that you go through in your career, that is just a fantastic. You've got the best bloody job.
I'm not mad about it. Let's just say that.
So, man, my gosh, it's like a dream state I was just in as he was describing this.
Yeah.
Oh, can you share some of the lineup that you have this year? The list grows more and more every year, and this is the 5th year, so you got 60 brewers. You went through a few of them. Can you give a few more?
Yeah, absolutely. So some returning attendees, 18th Street, our friends up north, Austin Beer Works, our friends in Texas, Maui Brewing, Firestone Walker, Cigar City, Creature Comforts, Cricket Stave, Lord Hobo, Marble Brewing Company, Rar and Son, Revolution, War Pigs, Pizza Port, Oscar Blues, Melvin, and so many more.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes. And the new breweries this year, all 12 of them, in order, not alphabetical necessarily. Brickstone Brewing, Crooked Stave, Haymarket, Sweetwater, Other Half Brewing, Kenai River Brewing out of Alaska, Platform Brewing Company, War Pigs, as I mentioned previously, they're attending, Third Space Brewing, Offshoot, Proof Brewing, and Three Weavers out of California.
Brand new newcomers to the
Brand spanking new. So new people were turning on to Indianapolis and our ways.
Now, those are Indianapolis brewers, or they're just from all over the country?
They're from all over the country. I didn't name all of the states that they're from, but the furthest one away is California in Three Weavers. So it's a female-led brewery. Head brewer is also a gal, which is, becoming more and more of a thing, which is great. Diversity in all things, always.
Sure. I feel like the past several years I've seen even a shift from bottles to cans. I guess, do you have some thoughts on that shift? I know you guys have been big proponents of canning from the get-go. Do you think some of those reasons have anything to play into that?
Well, thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Handsome, for giving me that, push there. I'm going to take a sip, if I may, for a moment.
Contemplate that.
As you should, yeah.
Out of a can, because cans are awesome. One of the reasons why we decided to can is I had a beer can collection when I was a kid. Clay also had a beer can collection. You get more dynamic, fun artwork. It's a bigger billboard and, with which to play on. But most importantly, it's better for the beer. It just simply, truly is. So if we look at, the dynamics of a beer can versus a beer bottle. We've got brown glass.
Yep.
It still allows 20% UV light to penetrate. So think about a grocery store shelf, UV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if somebody's not rotating the stock properly, the beer is going to start to break down some. No sunlight going through a can. As we all know, draft beer is fantastic, right? So let's think about a can as a tiny little keg for your mouth, right? Because it's hard to tap.
I love thinking about it that way.
Yeah. Because it's hard to
How
tap
would you
a
think
whole keg.
otherwise, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you've got this can, no lights getting in. Now let's talk about how it's sealed. Cans are hermetically sealed versus a metal cap on a glass bottle, and you just kind of squeeze there. Micro cracks occur with that squeezing to to make that seal happen. And if we all know about gas laws of partial pressure, right, like we all do,
Yep.
Obviously.
Atmosphere 14.7%, you've got oxygen, nitrogen, and other things that are working their way back in to get to a level of equilibrium. So with a can, that's not happening. It's just not. So it's just stopped dead in its tracks. I can go a little bit further and tell you about how awesome cans are. Let's think about our pantries for a second and having a grilled cheese sandwich.
Ooh. Oh, see, look what he's doing there.
Right?
The imagery he paints
Yes.
is just fantastic.
So,
Continue,
beautifully browned on both sides, nice and gooey in the center, grilled cheese. What kind of soup are you going to eat with that?
Tomato soup.
Exactly. Is it coming out of a jar?
It's coming out of a can.
Why? Because cans seal out stuff. So cans, they rock. And also from an earthwise sense, cans are infinitely recyclable. 70% of all post-consumer cans in the United States are recycled aluminum at this point. It's about a 2-week turnaround from the can that we're going to be finishing drinking today to come back to the brewery to be refilled again. Oh, they weigh less. So there's less fuel to transport around and all that kind of good stuff. So the reason why cans, and I know that's your next question, well, then why is it taking so long for cans? The equipment simply didn't exist to can on a small level. You had to buy a big old, from Coke or Pepsi or whomever, or a defunct line from one of the multinational conglomerates. So small bottling existed, and you can buy a single pallet of glass, go to Kinko's, get a wrap, boom, you're in a package. So for cans, you have to go to Ball Corporation. They don't want to shut off their machines, so they want to keep it running. So the smallest volume that you can buy is 150,000 cans. It's a $40,000 commitment to get one flavor out into the marketplace. So, we saw the coming trend of cans looking, doing our due diligence before we started Sun King, and, the curve or the wave of craft coming from the West Coast at us, and said, all right, cool, yes. This is a good business. We should do this. And then we said, well, if we get fortunate enough to have a small package, then what are we going to do? And then we looked at some more data and found out that, at that year, I think it was a 16% growth in craft. But people who canned Oscar Blues and a few others, 50+% growth. And we went, if we're going to catch a wave, let's catch a big wave. So, all of these things led to cans.
Yeah.
So hopefully you think they're awesome too now.
I've been persuaded. How about you, Caleb?
Yeah, I was actually telling some friends a while ago that I don't even know how or when it happened, but I have naturally evolved into, when I go to the store, I'm looking to get cans first. It's some sort of subliminal thing that's I can't explain it, but but also they stack easier in the fridge.
They do. If you have Butterfingers, then they're more forgiving, in all ways. So.
But you really can't get it into a bar fight and smash a can against the table. It just doesn't work out that way.
No, but you can shotgun one.
Yeah.
And of the two,
That's way cooler.
or if you're really adept or adroit, then you can, punch a hole in it with your own thumb, which is called renegading, something I've been turned on to recently. I still haven't
We're
mustered.
getting a little bit weird here.
haven't mustered that, but people I know are like, here we go.
No way.
Way.
Huh.
Yeah.
You got to exercise the thumb.
I guess so.
Got to work out your
It's a
renegade
muscle
thumb.
and it needs working out, I guess. I don't know. Nobody wants a thumb in the can.
Okay, well, moving on. Getting a little bit weird there. You have some different ticket levels available for the CANvitational, right? Want to touch on those and some pricing?
Yes, I'll touch the. No, that's not good radio.
Oh,
Anyway,
we got video too, so
yeah. I just realized that.
By the way, hey, we got Facebook Live audience. If you want to ask Dave any questions or shout your proclamations of Sun King, now's the time. We certainly are watching the channel.
So general admission is $50 in advance. You can buy any of the tickets at any Sun King location or at CANvitational.com. Day of is $60, but save $10 and get them now. It's going to be beautiful, 73 and sunny on Saturday. So says the weather, folks.
60 brewers coming out.
60. I mean, imagine how much money you'd spend traveling these United States to try and hit all of these breweries.
You should.
We're saving you money.
You better believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. And having a good time partying on the streets of downtown Indy. 75 for early special, so on and so forth. $10 designated tickets, designated driver tickets.
Oh, cool.
Not easy for me to say, apparently. Let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, I think that covers it.
So how many people have we seen at the CANvitationals prior?
How many
En
total?
masse.
Oh, in mass.
Yeah.
We try to keep it a reasonable sum, around 3,500 to 4,000 people. We want it to not be like any festival that you've gone to. You've got room to kind of move around, ponder, muse, have a conversation with a brewer. We actually demand that somebody from production staff comes to it, not just a salesperson, which is fine. The salespeople are absolutely great, and we need them out there in the world. But somebody connected directly to the brewery saying, hey, yeah, I helped make this in some way. So
that's very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and that also gives you the heart, in a particular manner, the heart of the beer and the passion that's behind it. Not that salespeople don't have any passion, just saying. But I mean, from the craftsmanship that goes into all these beers, I mean, there's such an art form to this, and we've been talking to a number of brewers here over the course of the show here, and it's just amazing seeing how passionate and how meticulous craft brewers are. I mean, there's such a swath of different inspirations that go into creation of craft brewery, and be able to have the production people right there to be able to carry that heart. That's fantastic. That's the connection that you want to have.
absolutely.
So you also have some additional news, right?
Yeah, we. I mean, here in the office, we were really excited about the Goose the Market news moving into the
Very
having a
excited.
little- yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's combining two of our loves.
Meat and beer.
Yeah,
We've actually had a really lovely conversation over, gosh, I think we talked to Chris about 6 months ago in regards to this. We knew we had some renovations to do in our own space to even make that a thing that happened. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And when is that expected to?
Well, hopefully within the next couple of 3 weeks, health department inspections and all that kind of good stuff notwithstanding. So as soon as that gets up and running, then we'll clearly be going from the rooftops, hey, come on down.
Yeah,
Get some sausages and some Sun King.
yeah, it's awesome.
It's a beautiful thing, a beautiful combination, and they're a really good group of people as well.
Oh, fantastic.
You also have some additional news regarding Distillery, right?
Yes. This isn't breaking news, though. So
No, but we want to tell our audience, I mean, how much we love Sun King by what you're doing now as well.
Well, yeah, we hopefully in April, as I said earlier, in according to the pre-interview part of this, that
That's the B-roll, folks.
yeah, we that we are going to be opening up a distillery in Carmel, craft distillery in Carmel. So we kind of want to do what we do with beer innovation with the spirit side and doing, fun seasonal gins with botanicals that are grown here right in Indiana. Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. Kudos, sir. Kudos.
Thank you. It'll also have beer. It's I think it's about a $5 million project. 15,000 square feet, outdoor deck overlooking the Monon Trail. Should I go on?
You had me at distilled.
Fabulous.
And so what are the various types of spirits?
It's easier to say what we probably won't be doing,
Yeah.
especially out of the gate, than what we would be doing. So imagine everything in a liquor cabinet and saying, maybe we won't start with vodka, or maybe we won't get there. We try to never say never, although I say it a lot internally, like vodka's awesome and it's great. And it's like the vanilla ice cream of spirits. So let's imagine the distilling process here. We're going to take raw ingredients and we're going to work our butts off to get it close to nothing tasting, right? So, according to federal law, vodka has to come off the still at 197 proof, which is almost pure ethanol. Ethanol has zero taste whatsoever.
And why not go for vodka if that could be your product? Give me some.
So, so then
I hear
we're
you.
busting our buns to make something taste like nothing, so that then you can take and put something back to it to make it taste like something. And that sounds to me like a crazy thing to want to do.
Hey, I'm a huge Dirty Martini fan, so watch where you're stepping there, man. You're
That
encroaching.
doesn't mean that we can't make neutral spirits, moonshine, have its own kind of flavor that would pair perfectly with a dirty martini. So what if we targeted an end product that was specifically to go into a martini with olives and all that kind of good stuff, or a Gibson or what have you?
There you go.
So that's the track that we look at.
Very cool. Wow.
And have you looked to any other? New Holland comes to mind, who's done this before. Have you looked to them or anybody like them who's come at it from both sides, or just going on your own?
Yeah, New Holland definitely is an inspiration. They've clearly been doing it for a while, and they make some darn good stuff. Corsair out of Tennessee makes some killer things. They have, I don't know, if you look up on their website, probably 30 gins that they've produced over the course of time.
I've
Double
had and
smoked
really enjoyed some of their
whiskeys.
gin.
Yeah, I mean, they just make some great stuff. So that's the kind of, not that the big boys don't make fantastic stuff, they do, but if I just tried to target that would be boring. It'd be the same old track, right? So why not have some fun, have some innovation? Maybe we develop something that's a brand new thing that people go, oh my gosh, great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, good luck in that, and we're certainly
Thanks.
going to be watching from afar. And as the bourbon comes up for tasting, we would certainly love to have you back here in the Edge Media Studios again.
Well, I mean, we don't have to wait for the bourbon, because that's going to be 4 years from now plus.
We shouldn't wait for the bourbon.
So we could try some other things instead. And what I want to also say is that we're gonna take that same kind of thing and move it forward and back into the community, just like we do with the beer. So what this helps us do is hire more Hoosiers, do more awesome things, and give back more. So
Fantastic, and that's a great way to sum it up here, Dave. Is that Sun King is not just only a case study, but it's an inspiration to local businesses, Indianapolis businesses, of how to give back. You guys are setting such great groundwork and just a wake of care towards Indianapolis and Indiana. So we just want to say thank you again for what you guys are doing regularly. It's just awe-inspiring. It truly is.
thank you, Indiana. I mean, we couldn't do it without you. So
Fantastic. So to finish up on the CANvitational, it's this Saturday.
this Saturday, early entry is at noon, regular general admission at 1 o'clock, $50 prior to 60 day of. Don't wait, get them now.
Get your VIP ticket too, $75.
Get after it. Come in. There's some special tappings that happen during that hour before the rest of the folks come in. And remember, all proceeds go back to wonderful organizations in the state.
And if they get there right at noon, there will be food trucks and what have you, serving foods.
Absolutely.
And there's even renegade thumb tapping practice.
No. That's on your own. It's on your own dime. We're not part of that game.
Fantastic. All right, so connect with CANvitational on Twitter at Sun King Brewing. as well as at CANvitational, CAN, obviously. Go look at the events coming up on Facebook off of Sun King. You can also check out the events. Just search for CANvitation. You'll find that. Instagram, Sun King Brewing, and hashtag CANvitational. And you can also check out the website at Ticketfly, but you'll be able to reach it over at sunkingbrewing.com, right?
Yeah, just come by, buy a pint, get a ticket. Life is good.
Life is good. And this Saturday is going to be fantastic. Thanks so much, Dave. I appreciate you
thank
stopping
you.
by. And thanks for the beverages, always.
My pleasure. Cheers.
Absolutely. You got to love it. All right. Well, here's a cheers. and one question I got to ask here is Joe Ball off of the I know the Facebook feed says, will Sun King name a future beer based off Caleb's awesome shirt?
I think AB and Bev beat us to the punch with America. So otherwise, I mean, looking at that makes me want to say that. And Stars and Stripes already taken as well. So it's really hard to name a beer out there in the world, but we'd love to. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Hey, we love having Sun King here, and it's great inspiration as always. Remember to choose local and connect with Sun King and all the areas in which they're doing good work. Check out their website. They're doing so much. 400 different organizations that they help out, as well as 700 different events over the course of this year. It is just fantastic. So check that out. Thanks so much.